with Miss Lauren Banall.
Hello.
Now, we should preface, this is your quick look. Yes, you've already been working today. You're very, very busy. You had a brunch this morning, correct?
She's a working girl. Yeah, I was a last minute fill-in. So this is like, normally I like to take like 2 hours from like shower to out the door, and I had about 30 minutes. So this is like a 20-minute face where
okay, well, it's
I
working.
don't say no to nothing.
Yes, exactly.
You got a paycheck, I'll be there.
So you were saying that you had a brunch this morning.
Yeah.
Brunch, is that where a lot of your performances are happening?
Yeah, well, with the pandemic, performances kind of had to come to a stop. But with brunch, it's outdoor, people are eating, and you just kind of wiggle through quickly, So that's kind of what drag has more become. Instead, pre-pandemic is a lot of like nighttime shows and like big crowds, but now it's kind of morphed into like everyone's
as safely and gorgeously as you can perform.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but daytime it's every drag queen's dream to be seen in the sunlight. That is an adjustment.
You had to change. I mean, this has to have been a big change. That's true. Instead of being under the spotlight, it is everywhere. You're getting full fill.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, so you just tweak some things here and there, and you just try to look as good as possible from every angle and every lighting situation.
Well, lately it seems like you've really been building your following online. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Can you talk about what you've done, what the work has been like to build that?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, just pounding the pavement, being as many places as I can, and just, I think of drag queens, we're community leaders. Like, we show the way of like how we should be treating each other and how we should be celebrating life. And so for me, it's a lot about the community. And so I make it a point to talk to everybody like before and after the show and try to get to know people. And so that's kind of how my following is built. A lot of people are like famous Instagram beauties or like, dancing divas.
Right.
And,
You've been giving people hugs and saying hi.
Yeah, giving people hugs.
What can I do for you?
And cracking jokes and being silly and fun and, making a safe space for everybody to come and have a good time.
Absolutely. And was it intimidating at first to get into this community, to get into this art form?
Yes. Well, because whenever anybody starts, you're ugly. You're just so ugly. You just have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very humbling at the beginning, but then you learn to not care about, drag shows, it doesn't show you what beauty is. It shows you that beauty is a show. So when you can sit in like things that aren't conventional beauty and still laugh it off and have a good time, then it makes it more whole and well-rounded when you do find some level of conventional beauty, and then you can break more rules in your performance and be sillier and be wild. Or if you're like following more rules, the more rules you can break. It's about having a good time and celebrating what we have, no matter how far we have to go or how far we've come. It's all about everybody coming together and just having a good time and celebrating.
Yeah. When you say how far you have to go, I think people also, you just have to appreciate how much time it takes to become a different human being,
Yeah.
It's a lot of skill. It's a lot of time. Like you said, you started out in a place where you were so confident in yourself, and now, I can't imagine that process.
Yeah, well, that's something I love about drag, is like there's a million things that go into it. So there's kind of nowhere to like, there's always somewhere to grow, whether it's like doing the hair or the makeup or the nails or the glitter or the costumes or the heels or the tights or like or the mixes, the dancing.
That's
like
up.
There's nowhere to like rest. You're always growing and learning.
Too many skills in one art form. That's a lot.
It's too many.
You're too sophisticated.
But hey, somebody's got to do it.
Well, where do you want to go from here? What's next for Lauren Banall?
Just more of the same, more digital stuff, YouTube, podcasts, tours, maybe, In high school or like the beginning of college, I just made a goal of I just want to be able to live comfortably with performing as my job, and she's there, baby.
I'm jealous.
Oh yeah. It's kind of wild. So it really is like a dream. So yeah, just like bigger and better. Why not?
Were there headwinds when you started off from people in your life, or just others that maybe you didn't initially expect?
Well, I actually never came out to my family as gay. My mom like found Instagram messages or Facebook messages or something to my boyfriend at the time. And so it was kind of like a whole thing. And then I was never brave enough to come out to any member of my family. So eventually my mom just came out to everyone in my family for me. And because I love my family so much and I was raised Mormon, so it was not outside the realm of possibility that they would, turn me away or anything. So
I can imagine it being a bit of a shock, all of this. Yes, exactly.
yeah. So when I started doing drag, and it got to a point where like I was missing out on bookings because I didn't have social media of my drag.
Because you're hiding.
Because it was like just this thing I did on the side for fun and crazy, to be crazy and young and fun. So then when it started getting more serious, that was my time to like stand in myself in front of my family and say, hey family, this is what I'm doing and this is what I love, and take it or leave it.
How was that?
Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it was everything that I thought coming out would be. And like my dad did not take it well at first.
Yeah.
But now they're like, yeah, coming around. Yeah, I had an uncle and I was visiting them and he was just like, so it's about sex, right? And I was like, no, it's about performance and silliness and like, poking fun at gender and stereotypes and beauty, and it's all about taking nothing serious. And that's how we should live life. The more you do it, the more you realize, oh, it didn't kill me. Like 12 people who saw it didn't really care. They don't remember it. Like you just keep going and doing what you love, and then you get better and better, and people start to really enjoy it.
And then instead of people thinking you're silly, they just think you're fabulous.
Yeah, and silly and fabulous.
Exactly.
I put a lot of comedy into all of my. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm just straight up beauty, glamour, supermodel. I don't
Very
do
serious.
Any comedy.
Well, how does comedy? Where did you find comedy in your life? What inspired you to find comedy and put that in your work?
Oh God, well, just being miserable, I guess. We have to find a way to laugh at everything. Because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Like, what are we doing here if we can't laugh through the hard stuff, And so, yeah, I just saw people that were doing things that I thought were crazy and fun and wild and silly, and I just wanted, more of that. I came from acting and theater, and so I really don't see it as very different, where it's like, in theater, I literally use the same makeup as like we do on stage. I just do it differently, and like you wear wigs in theater, and so the only thing that's different is the script is just like pop songs of the day, and I write the script and I twist it on its head and make it silly and fun. So
how do you decide what to focus on? What are you putting at the forefront in your performance,
That little voice of inspiration, and whatever it is, I just follow it. So like I saw a giant stuffed duck, and so I was like, I wonder if I could put my legs through that. And I made a whole number where I just have this giant stuffed duck, and I opened with Ludacris's My Chick Bad. So it's like just so many like what if, and sometimes it's like a costume piece or a song really inspires me, and you just have to listen to like that little voice in your head that goes, what is that? That's kind of fun, and just follow it until you make something special and new and uniquely yourself. I've been known to call people out on the microphone and be, aggressive. Like, we're a queen. I'm a drag queen in front of you.
Yes.
Pay attention. I didn't do all this for you to like look over here. No.
Yeah.
You know,
You're doing enough.
Well,
Yeah.
because like people forget, like we're so used to, especially after the pandemic, we're used to Netflix and just chilling and like letting things wash over us. And so if you go out, if you spend the energy to like go somewhere and experience something, you have to be engaged. And so I really make sure in every one of my shows that people are there to have a good time and to let loose and be wild, just as wild as I am, you know?
Yeah.
It gives people permission to be wild when there's nobody in the room more wild than the drag queen. So it's like, be as wild as you want because, you know,
Yeah.
the spotlight's not on you, so that gives you permission to just like be whatever.
Exactly. I mean, it's you get what you give as an audience member, and that's a good point. You are taking the brunt of the pressure by saying, you know what, I will dance, I will sing, I will be funny, I will perform for all of you. All you need to do though is laugh very loudly and clap and hoot and holler, basically. Right? Yeah.
And that's why like everybody is welcome in a drag space, because it's like everybody's on a different journey of sexuality and like, you know, gender identity, whatever. And so it's like nobody's gonna be gayer than the drag queen in the room. Nobody's like, if you're a woman or a man or anything in between, you know, we're all of it. So and we're showing you that it's celebrated no matter what. So that's one of my favorite parts about drag.
You're lifting people up.
Yeah.
People can look at that and say, see you performing and say, wow, I can be my full self. If they can be their full selves, I can be my full self.
Completely. Yeah, that's a huge part of why I do it. The more we demystify so many things that have been demonized, whether it's like gay people or trans people or drag queens, and just shine a light on it. Shame dies in the light. And so if you just show people who you are and you know, put your love out there, like that's what all of this is about. That's why we're here.
As far as collaborating, have you found some friends that you end up performing with a lot, filming videos with? Is there kind of a cohort building here?
Yeah, well, the thing about drag is you are the star, the director, the script, you're everything. So in terms of collaboration, drag queens don't necessarily do that a whole lot. You're kind of a one-woman show.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I have like brought on friends to dance with me or like, you know, do a more full production. But the community is absolutely there where you see like everybody gets into drag for a different reason. So some people are incredible dancers and they just elevate that with drag, or comedians and actors or makeup artists. And so the community is there where, just like the rainbow, everybody's a different color, but we all are together and we all celebrate each other. And so most of the people, most of the queens that I work with, or kings, they do something entirely different than me, and it makes me so happy to see, like, if it's a good lineup, everybody does something different at like the top of their game. And I just love seeing everybody bring down the house in their own unique way.
Absolutely. And it's like you're not even really competing. In that sense, everybody is just doing their strong suit and showing, you know, what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is amazing. Well, I am so happy to have had you here.
Thank you for
learn
having
so
me.
Much. You're fabulous. Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about here? I don't know.
I mean, just stay tuned. Lauren Banall on all social media. Queen of it all, Lauren Banall.
Fantastic. Yes, check her out, everybody.